Would you rather have cheddar cheese for knees, or a talking dog that only speaks in Portuguese? Or to make yourself feel really dry, would you towel dry between your thighs, or dangle out your knackers in the breeze?
Welcome to Knackers in the Breeze. That's usually the thing that you say.
Yeah, I'll try it. You are listening to Knackers in the Breeze.
With me, Barry.
And me, Big Ryan.
Big Rye. Should we set the scene, though, briefly? Because you might hear some birds in the background, some children, some dogs.
Shut them up.
The occasional lawnmower.
The aeroplane going past. You might not hear any of this at all.
Yeah. I think it almost feel like you're here with us because the sun is beaming down. It's a Sunday afternoon. We thought, why not do it outside?
Yeah.
Get some D. Get some vitamin D.
In England, the sun doesn't appear that much.
No.
We're still struggling to understand what it actually is.
Yes.
We rarely see it. But once we are out, shorts come on.
Yep.
Top comes off.
Yep.
Everyone's outside.
It's weird, isn't it?
No matter what the temperature.
Do you ever think about the sun and just think, it's a big ball of fire?
Goodness gracious.
I know I sound like a stone 16-year-old boy, but it's just a big ball of fire, man.
Yeah, it's strange. It's weird how it makes our skin turn brown or red or something just from that ball of fire.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. It is. On with the show. But,
right, on this podcast, we are trying to achieve philosophical enlightenment by answering questions that our listeners pose to us.
Because I think, without this podcast, we wouldn't be answering. We wouldn't have these questions in our lives. We wouldn't be scraping the depths of our soul for answers to these questions. And definitely, I think
this is the best way to go about it.
How much has your IQ increased since you started doing this podcast?
Increased.
I
don't know how to answer that.
Minus,
definitely minus
-8
something.
IQ. But I think, but it has to
definitely
go down now to go back up again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to speculate to accumulate. So
episode 20. That's when we go into triple figures.
That's when the IQ points go up one.
I don't even know how to spell IQ at the moment.
no, a couple of D's.
So, new listeners to the podcast will not know that the format of this show is that listeners will send in voice clips of them asking questions, any sort of question, usually kind of like a would you rather this or this, and we answer them hopefully in a comedic fashion.
Well, no, that's not me personally.
We never make anyone laugh, so we can't really quite claim that.
I don't go for comedy, I go for truth.
Sometimes the truth is funny.
Give me the truth. That's all I want. And I just want enlightenment and truth. That's it.
So hopefully to reel you in, let's show you some reviews from previous.
This is the feedback section.
From the feedback.
Love getting a good review, and most of them are tinged with, I liked
backhanded
it,
compliment.
but there's a lot of we get called out on a lot of bullshit, and I like that.
But we welcome that.
We're looking for truth. Yeah,
because it's funny.
Truth is funny, and it hurts.
Right, so last episode we were posed a question from another podcast called Gears and Beers, and they enjoyed our answers to the questions. And Mitch from Gears and Beers has said, "Great episode, guys. Really enjoyed it. Keen to do this again in the future." So he actually wants to see us again, or hear from us again. Yeah,
all right. Well, I welcome
which
them.
Is rare.
It's a rare thing. It's never happened before. We've never had a guest come back on, or have we?
Have we? Yeah, we have.
We have, yeah.
Also, you could probably hear the dog in the background. That might happen quite a bit. Hopefully, it doesn't pick up too much on the microphone.
Yeah, but I mean, it just shows that authentically we are outside. We haven't doctored this background noise in, and also we might run a competition. How many times does the dog bark during the podcast?
Yeah, you get Barry's unofficial gold star. For that.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm getting them printed out. I got some feedback as well. Interestingly, a lady called Rosie, big fan, she said, "Not sure why on podcast 7 you're saying to not pigeonhole yourselves as a Would You Rather podcast when you clearly are." And I remember that conversation. And how we're like, we don't just want to just be a Would You Rather, we want to branch out, we can talk about anything. But we have gone in the direction of lots of Would You Rather questions, haven't we, really?
Yeah, we have pigeonholed ourselves.
Nothing wrong with that. But interestingly, she's, I forgot that we had that conversation, and she's right, it did happen. Do we still want to break the prison of Would You Rather? I guess
break the chains.
I guess it depends what people stop sending us Would You Rather questions.
If you it all depends on you guys.
If you don't want to hear any more, send other things in. But I like them. I like a good WYD.
And on Sorry, go on.
Well, I've got another one here, another bit of feedback, but if you want to jump in with
Yeah, so on the subject of Gears and Beers, last time we come up with our own podcast name for if we had a car show, which we posted online as well, who's the favourite, the listener's favourite name, and we had, what do we have? Peugeot and Merlot. Or baked beans and windscreens, and I think the winner was baked beans and windscreens.
I think it was, yeah, it was. That was the poll on Facebook, wasn't it?
We've got a review from Joe who said, great episode, best one yet, in his opinion.
Wow, controversial.
Although the alternative name for the Aussie podcast should have been Revs and Bevs.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's why Joe needs
Let's run another poll. Every week we're on a different car pun name poll.
We could try and do another bit of car news this time to keep up.
Car news. We don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything. I had to Google everything I came out with, which wasn't a lot. I had to Google car stuff on Google just to know what types of cars were what. I don't know anything, but I wish I knew more. And by listening to Beers and Gears and Gears and Beers, that's how you learn about cars. So if you're like me,
if you want to bring down your IQ, then listen to Baked Beans and Windscreens.
Exactly. Yeah, I got some more feedback here, and this is specifically aimed at you. And someone's called you out on a bit of a fact check here.
Oh shit.
You know, I want to hear your response. Maybe you haven't got one. Here we go.
Good morning, Barry. So I'm just listening to episode 10 of your podcast. I just want to point out Ryan made a mistake. So he was referring to Lamar, the singer. As we know, he's a black dude. Well, Ryan said that it was Lamar from Blue. Well, that's incorrect. Lamar was not in Blue. Lamar, I don't think he won it, but he was on Fame Academy, if you remember that singing show on BBC. He was on Fame Academy, so perhaps Ryan's being a little bit racist to get the black people confused. It was in fact Simon Webb that was in Blue. So, yeah, pass on the information. Thank you, but I'm enjoying it.
That was epic feedback from Jess there. So, accusing you of being racist, confusing black people. They're not all the same.
I'm getting the wrong colour skin, but getting a very red face from it.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. And it's not just the sun, because we're outside.
Yeah, well, apologies for making that mistake.
Which one of those, isn't it? Because, again, it was probably an episode we drank on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm defending you here, and we ramble a lot of shit, you know, as she well knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I like, you know, someone's not just listening; they're actually semi-paying attention to what's going on.
We welcome all the like critical feedback.
Can we go back to episode 7? We'll go back and try and find that clip.
Episode 10, wasn't it?
Episode 10. Sorry, episode 10.
Yeah.
Episode 10.
Yeah,
episode 7 was when we said we don't want to be a Would You Rather podcast, and then we didn't follow that advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you though for that
So,
feedback.
Time to Grow, was that Lamar or was that Simon Webb?
I have no idea. Is there no, I don't know. Only because I'm not a huge fan of either.
Yeah, I'm not. That kind of genre of music. I'm not very knowledgeable about.
I'm 50-50. Been a long time. Say that's Lamar, isn't it?
I don't even know that.
Better not be Simon Webb now. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for that. And I hope
Simon Webb does the no worries.
Oh wow, that's a tune.
Say it for me.
Yeah, that's a tune.
We all need somebody.
Sure, it's not Lamar who sings that.
I'm not sure.
Oh no!
Somewhere. Jess, right? Send some critical feedback if I've got that wrong. The dog's already having a go at
me. Yeah, he's on a little moany tone. Any other feedback? I think that's most of my feedback, really.
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
I mean, apart from just general comments in the street going, love it, mate, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, apart from that. But I haven't recorded that. I just get that, which is great. Keep that coming if you see me in the streets.
I just get stuff thrown at me.
I think that's what they're saying. What do they throw at you? Medals and trophies?
Yeah, straight around my neck.
Oh, that's lovely.
Pull.
They clap, but using your face and their hands.
Yeah, they're all made of human shit, though.
Oh, the people?
The medals.
Oh, no. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. Don't let that bring you down.
Are you talking to the person who's throwing shit medals?
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing it. Keep gathering the shit. Also, we're shouting that out. We are outside in the garden, and I'm shouting that out into the void. And for all I know, there are people on the other side of that fence, which is about 6 foot away from us. But yeah, that's part of the fun of recording outside.
Knackers in the booth. Knackers in the booth.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. If you have followed this podcast since day one, which I know at least 12 people have, and a lot of people have joined since then, have jumped on the train, you know a lot about a lot of things now, because we've talked about... Oh, I don't sound really dumb. You know a lot... We've covered a lot of topics.
Yeah.
A lot of facts.
Maybe we've brought you closer to philosophical enlightenment.
I think so. I mean, God is truth, and we're bringing you closer to the truth.
And so is God.
So, right, I take it back. We are getting you closer to God, to enlightenment. God is enlightenment. God is truth. We're finding the truth. We're finding God. You are closer to God if you listen to this podcast.
That holy water has gone to your head.
But who is... who is... I do have holy water now, by the way. I got a gift off Ryan and Emily before the podcast. I have holy water now in my pocket.
Some Austrian holy water.
Yeah. I didn't weigh my thousand.
In a Jägermeister bottle, and that is a true story.
That is... I mean, I don't know what's going on at that church. They're peddling some kind of scam. Holy water in Jaeger bottles. But yeah, we'll put it out. We'll put it out. Put it on social media.
Yeah, we need to remember that because there's been so much that it's like, put that on Facebook. Yeah, I'll remember that.
Holy water, social, just so you can see what I'm talking about, people.
Yeah.
And be jealous. Okay. Yeah. So in the interest, what was I rambling about? Right. So you've listened to combined amount of time you've listened to Ryan speak. It's probably in the maybe 17, 16 hour mark, possibly more. It's a lot of time to listen to someone talk and not know a lot about them. You know how he'd get somebody to masturbate him in a car.
Yeah.
You know all the important things, but you don't know...
To be honest, I bring that up within 5 minutes of meeting me anyway.
Just basic social functions, that's what you bring out. But I'm going to ask you some questions now, right, just so the audience can get to know you a little bit better, a bit of a deeper level, if that's even possible. In a feature that I like to call Getting to Know You. Getting to know all the things about you. I didn't come up with that. That's just a real song. Okay. Question number 1. Just relaxed. It's not a job interview. I just want the audience to know a bit more about you.
Roll your shoulders, roll your neck.
What?
Get a massage while you're doing it.
This is quite a deep question. Right, can I just
Happy ending coming.
What?
What? Go on. Sorry.
You're the worst interviewee. Inside the Actor Studio. Do you know that show?
I've heard of it.
Well, he always asks the same questions. James Lipton, his name is the interviewer. For the most famous actors,
got it down to a T.
He answers all the... What? Oh, Lipton. Right, you're the one... Look, just start talking and try and ask you... You wouldn't do this to James Lipton. Right, what is... These are questions he asks every actor that comes in. At the end of the interview, they go, right, here's the questions. And they're world-famous questions. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ask you all of them, just a selection. What sound do you hate?
Sound do I hate?
A lot of these are on the spot, so they might be quite hard. I apologise for putting you on the spot.
Crying children.
Crying children?
Yeah.
Okay. Who likes a crying baby? It goes right through you.
Yeah.
Stop making them cry, is the question I'd say. Alright. What profession would you not like to do?
I don't know if this is in like America or I think it's in like Turkey or something like that. They get someone to dress in like a proper head to toe suit or human condom,
right,
and go through the sewers, and they need to like get rid of all the fat burgers and stuff like that. So literally, that's kind of awful. Swimming through human shit. That's awful, isn't it? But probably good pay. Yeah, I think it is actually good pay. That's why people do it. Yeah, I consider it if the pay was good enough. Yeah. I think of the stories you've got, you'd have to tell. Oh, I was down there today. Should have seen the shit that I saw, the rats. That's the end of the anecdotes. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? If I die before I wake, at least in heaven I can skate. Right. You want God to say that to you? Half pipe. Yeah. You want God to go, hi, Rye. If I die before I wake, at least I can skate. You want God to say that to you? Him to say, welcome to heaven, here's the half pipe. And I go, I can't skate vert. He goes, in heaven you can. A little bit of street skating. And he goes, sorry, it's only a half pipe here. We listened to the song, we got our feedback, and that's what they wanted. I love it, like, it's in heaven. There's still a lot of really boring restrictions. Yeah. Like, no, we don't allow that here. And you're still, you can't skate at vert. Yeah. It's like a Mormon heaven. I guess if you've been a bad person, vertical skateboarding. Because you keep making children cry and talking shit, you don't deserve to skate. Exactly. Yeah. Kind of like the limbo I'm living in. This is a good question. What's your favourite curse word? It's got to be the cunt bomb, isn't it? Cunt bomb. I agree. Nothing packs a punch like a cunt. What else? Barry's catchphrase. I've always nothing packs a punch like a cunt. I like it tattooed on me. What is your least favourite word? That's a tough question. I wouldn't have an answer to that off the top of my head, I don't think. I tell you what word I don't like. I'm interviewing myself now. Interesting question, Barry. Probably flange. Flange. I don't really like the word squelch. Ooh, yeah. I do actually quite like that because it's onomatopoeia. So it's like squelch. Squelch. Yeah. Would it be squelch? I'll take that answer. I can't. Yes, it's very like off the top of your head thinking. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough. I don't want to prep you though, because then you can be too prepared. Yeah. You know. Last question: what profession other than yours
would you like to attempt? Skateboarder? God?
God?
Is it a profession?
Just going to college and going to get my MVQ level 2 in being a deity.
Goddery. Godderia.
God. No, I think being God is too much pressure.
Yeah, I would
you
like.
wouldn't get left alone.
Why would you like that? Yeah.
No, yeah.
And you've hit the ceiling. There's no job progression.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where'd you go from there?
Jesus. I would quite like to be a marine biologist.
What do they do?
They.
I've heard of those, but I don't know what they do.
Or maybe what's it called? Marine conservationist. Maybe.
Right. So what do they do?
They
Bags
conserve
from coral reefs.
like endangered animals and stuff.
Oh, that's
don't
a
they?
lovely
So-
thing to do.
yeah.
Actually. Well, can I just say,
And environment.
you could do that now, couldn't you? But probably you wouldn't get paid for it necessarily at the moment. But you could
Well,
go
I know
down
it's like a really competitive
is it?
profession. Yeah.
But you can head down. We live near the coast. You can go down to Margate Beach.
I wouldn't do it here. I'd do it like in the Caribbean.
Oh, because those are
or, like,
more
the
important.
Great Barrier Reef or
We've got, the beautiful Channel Strait. The amount of wildlife in there is astonishing.
yeah, you can't see any of it though.
No, you
'cause
can't,
the
but you can feel
water's
it.
all chalky and mucky,
Well, okay, well, no, thank you.
and it'd be really cold.
You're a fickle marine conservation. Too cold, let the turtle die. That
Although
was.
we did when sorry.
I was about to end this feature,
Oh.
but let's go carry on, because.
Let's extend this. When Emily and I went to Belgium, we met someone who was he was in like the Belgian Navy, I think, or he's employed by the Belgian Navy,
Sure.
and he was a diver, but he had to clean
Sorry.
all the propellers
Yeah.
of all the boats, and he said he fucking hated it.
Really?
And it gets like really, really cold.
Oh god, yeah, he must be wearing a dry
Yeah,
suit,
yeah. So I
wetsuit.
think he got used to the cold, but he was doing it in like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, where it's like boiling. And
Wow.
He said he didn't really like it.
Didn't like that either when it's
No.
hot. Scraping barnacles off propellers. He didn't enjoy that.
So that is not my dream job. I don't want to do that.
So you would so your profession you wouldn't like to try is being a barnacle remover in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, very
It's just
specific.
a job I'd like to do is just one that I don't have to put much effort in, and
Podcasting.
there we go. Dream job.
Imagine that.
And clearly I don't put much effort.
I think you really could. Being deadly serious, you could. It's a burgeoning market. It's growing exponentially, especially this year in particular. And you produce this, you edit this, you can know how to broadcast now. You genuinely could get a job. You could brag your way into a job, I think.
There we go. If you're listening, employ me.
We'll put your CV out on Facebook.
Get on LinkedIn.
Get on LinkedIn, podcast producer.
Knackers in the breeze. We
You
can't,
really are.
we can't recommend it to everyone because it's not safe for work.
No, it really is not safe for work at all. No, thank you. I really feel like I know you now, and so does the audience.
Getting to know you.
That'll do. Brilliant.
Feature done. Right. I'm going to start off by saying, Barry,
Yo.
I'm a bit disappointed in you.
Why?
Very disappointed. I'll tell you why. Right, Barry. It's all well and good us trying to achieve philosophical enlightenment on this podcast by getting our listeners to ask us questions, but why should they contribute any content when they don't even know what Hogwarts House we are? Come on, Barry, I expected better of you here. Right, let's find out what Hogwarts House you are.
Hogwarts House.
Hogwarts House. Right, I'll start off by saying this is no surprise to anyone here. I'm Slytherin.
Are you really?
I'm Slytherin, yeah. I've done the official Pottermore
Fucking hell.
Harry Potter.
Are they're the
quiz.
They're the evil ones, aren't they?
Not evil. We don't like that phrase, okay?
Don't
We're
you?
misunderstood, okay?
Little creep. So obviously everybody wants to be Gryffindor, right? That's the one that Harry's in. You
I
want to
don't
be
know. A lot of people like.
Okay, I'll tell you what I've learned is that nobody wants to be Hufflepuff.
I feel like Josh, who was on episode 5 and episode 15, I think.
Key contributor.
I feel like he would be a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, it's a bit of an insult, but I know what you mean.
I think he would take it as a compliment.
I think he would as well.
Just before we do this quiz, what house do you think you are?
I'll be honest with you. What are the houses? Slytherin, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff,
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. I don't know anything about Ravenclaw.
No one does. Well, I don't know. I think if
Who
you
the
read
hell
the
is it?
books, which I haven't,
I haven't either.
then it goes into it a little bit more. But if you watch the films, it's kind of just Gryffindor and Slytherin. The other ones are just
Yeah,
involved.
no one really cares, do they? I haven't even watched all the films.
I haven't watched all the films, but
I do love it,
dabble.
though. I love it.
dabble in Harry Potter.
Yes, a dabbler. But what I will say is probably I would like to be Gryffindor, mate.
Okay.
Because they're the best. Blue-eyed, Aryan, master race. That's the way I see them in my head.
Are you getting the films confused? You're not thinking of Saving Private Ryan, no?
Oh, is it Saving Harry Potter? Is that not the same? Oh, okay. Is that not the same thing?
No.
Oh, okay. Potter's List?
Saving Hitler and Mussolini, I think, is...
That's what I... Okay, I see. I'm getting confused. Right, so Harry Potter is the one with the... There's no guns or anything in it. It's just magic.
Just wands, yeah.
The kid with the glasses.
That's him, yeah.
Right. Then Gryffindor, because it's the one they win everything, that everyone loves them, they're courageous, they're handsome, except for Harry.
I don't like that in films when they always win everything. I call it the Hulk Hogan effect, because I used to watch like the old WWF, and even when I was young, very young, and you're supposed to be behind like all the winners and stuff. That's why like a lot of people our age started off like supporting Man United because they were winning everything at that point in the mid 90s, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah.
I always thought, oh, that's boring, because he was always like winning every match. You think,
boring,
oh well,
to win everything,
it's boring. I don't want to, support Hulk Hogan. I don't want to like be behind Hulk Hogan. It's boring. So I think since like that age, I've been supporting like the underdog. I think
it is more fun because when they do get a victory, it means so much more.
Yeah,
it does. Because through the pain and the trials of all the losses, it accentuates the victories. If you win all the time, you become numb to it. So actually, I'm going to change my mind. You've won me over there. Gryffindor can go suck an egg. I want to be Ravenclaw.
Except Knackers in the Breeze, because we're winning all the time, and we are fucking epic. So everyone wants to be like us, and they are now sectioned. So let's begin the quiz. Okay, the first one is very simple. It's one question, two answers, two options.
If someone wants to play this game, where can they find this?
This is pottermore.com.
Okay.
I've heard from very avid Harry Potter nerds that this is the official way to sort yourself into a certain house.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of the sorting hat in
this is legit.
the first film. Dawn or dusk?
Dusk. Because I'm not a morning person, and dusk is my favourite time of day in the summer. Right, carry on.
Okay. Which of the following do you find the most difficult to deal with? Hunger, cold, loneliness, boredom, or being ignored?
Hungry.
Hunger.
I can't deal with hunger. I get very hangry.
Hangry.
Very quickly, like a child.
One of your housemates has cheated in a Hogwarts exam by using a self-spelling quill, which we all know what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're arseholes for using that. Now he has come to the top of the class in charms, beating you into second place. Professor Flitwick is suspicious of what happened. Mm-hmm. He draws you to one side after his lesson and asks you whether or not your classmate used a forbidden quill. What do you do? Do you lie and say you don't know, but hope that someone else tells Professor Flitwick the truth?
Sure.
Tell Professor Flitwick that he ought to ask your classmate and resolve to tell your classmate that if he doesn't tell the truth, you will. Fuck me. Tell the teacher the truth. If your classmate is prepared to win by cheating, he deserves to be found out. Also, as you are both in the same house, any points he loses will be regained by you for coming first in his place. You would not wait to be asked to tell the teacher the truth. If you knew that someone was using a forbidden quill, you would tell the teacher before the exam started. So,
number 1.
1, 2, 3 or 4. So 1, yeah?
Snitches get stitches. I'm not saying jack.
So you chose lie and say you don't know.
Yes. Because they should be rewarded for their, their ingenuity.
Okay.
If I had the quill, I did the same.
What are you most looking forward to learning at Hogwarts? Apparition and disapparition. Right. So that's being able to materialise and dematerialise at will, which I know you already knew.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Transfiguration, so that's turning one object into another object.
Right.
Flying on a broomstick.
Nope.
Hexes and jinxes.
Nope.
All about magical creatures and how to befriend / care for them.
God, no. More responsibility. No.
Secrets about the castle.
God, no.
Every area of magic I can.
Well, that one seems like it's quite well-rounded, but I'd probably go for number 1.
Number 1 was apparition and disapparition.
Why transform something if you can just create whatever you want instantly?
There we go. What kind of instrument most pleases your ear?
Oh, the lute.
The violin?
Yeah.
The trumpet?
Nope.
The piano?
Lovely.
Or the drum?
Imagine the drum. No. Piano. Lovely piano. Gorgeous.
If you're attending Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take with you? The tabby cat, the Siamese cat, ginger cat, black cat, white cat, tawny owl, screech owl, brown owl, snowy owl, barn owl, common toad, natterjack toad, dragon toad,
No.
harlequin toad,
No.
three-toed tree toad.
Who's bringing that? No.
Oh, that's all of them.
Ginger cat.
Ginger cat.
Who's bringing a toad? I want to know who this toad bringer is.
Who's bringing three-toed tree toad?
Nobody.
No one Irish, I know that. I'm bringing a tree toad. Right, the ginger cat.
How many more questions are there?
I don't know. Which of the following would you most hate people to call you? Ordinary, ignorant, cowardly, or selfish?
Oh, selfish. I wouldn't like to be called selfish.
No?
Even though I am, but that's probably why I don't want to hear it. Selfish.
Black or white?
Is this... It's got racial connotations.
It hasn't got racial connotations. It's just
I'm
the
giving
colour.
it that.
Just the tone.
I'm giving it that.
So what are you going to choose now, eh?
Leaving aside the racial connotations, I'd probably go for... Is this fashion? I'd probably go for...
It's fascist, I'll tell you that.
Black. Black's timeless.
Yeah.
Everyone looks good in black.
And you get fewer like visible stains on.
That's the big one. I don't have to wash as much. Wash my clothes as much. Yeah. Black jeans.
Right. What house do you think you are following those questions?
I'm pretty confident that I'm probably a Ravenclaw with those questions.
What house would you least like to be?
Slytherin.
Okay. You are... Hufflepuff.
Yeah! No, that's wow! No, I don't know what to think. Hey. I'm happy it's over, but I'm also happy that... I'm alright with that. I'm okay with that. It's not Slytherin, that's what I'm happy about. Because I don't really like Slytherin. I hate them. Gryffindor, they win too much. So it was really between Raven and Huff. I don't really know anything about Raven, so I'm happy with Huff. Stick me in the Huff.
Sounds like you got Huff about it.
I am happy with that. You're Slytherin.
I'm Slytherin.
And we decided that Josh, previous guest, would probably be Hufflepuff as well.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that.
I'm outnumbered.
Let us know what you got as a listener.
So sign up to Pottermore.com.
You have to sign up.
Yeah. I signed you up. This is Knackers in the Breeze. Official sign up.
Ridiculous. No, it's glad. I'm good. I'm happy to know that. And I might do a little bit of research to find out a little bit more about my new family.
Do it. I'll give you the login details.
What are we doing tonight?
So, Barry hasn't got a game this week, so in lieu of that, I've just done a shit game.
If it's really good, it has no place here. So, no. Thank you for taking the mantle.
I can equally do another jingle if you want.
Please do.
Tell us your house. Tell us your house. Tell us your house or get out. Tell us your house. Tell us your house. Tell us your house or get out.
That was really good. That's fucking brilliant.
Excellent.
Well done. Yeah, thanks for taking the mantle because the pressure of trying to come up with these games is so tough. We can share this responsibility, maybe, over the coming weeks and months. Maybe it's a responsibility that you can share as well. You've obviously got a knack for jingles.
I've got a knack in the breeze.
Oh yeah, baby.
Let's listen up, Knackers in the breeze. Listen up, Knackers in the breeze.
I've got a lovely question here from a man who calls himself Tony. But I believe...
Everyone else calls him Tony as well.
Yeah, so does everyone else. But I believe the state still refers to him as Anthony. As that, I believe, is his real name.
Hey guys, loving the podcast as usual. I mean, last week's episode was a joy to behold, baked beans and windscreens, and guess the Christmas punchline. We're not going to forget that game anytime soon, but I do have a question regarding what other podcasts you recommend your listeners check out. Just wondering your thoughts on that.
Okay. Right, very first podcast I recommend people to listen to is Gears and Beers.
Okay, I thought you'd say that.
Boxes.
Yeah.
Very good podcast. I really like it. I'm still learning a lot about cars.
If I'd say it, I just enjoy it. I didn't think I'd enjoy it because I just don't really know anything about cars, but I just enjoy the bands.
Yeah, I know nothing about cars.
They got really good chemistry.
Yeah, I don't think you need to know a great deal about cars to...
It's like Top Gear.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, but I enjoy the show because it's all banter. Yeah. You enjoy the chemistry between the people. That's what I like about Beers and Gears and Gears and Beers.
I suppose another podcast is similar to this is one called Answer Me This, where people asking genuine questions rather than like comedy ones, and they like research and answer them, but like in a comedic way.
I like that. Yeah, I've listened. It's a very good podcast. I can vouch. There's one that I've listened to religiously for about 2 years. It comes out every Thursday, and it's called Tiger Belly.
Okay, I've not heard of that.
The comedian called Bobby Lee and his girlfriend Kalila, and there's a few. The producers are part of the show now, and yeah, it's just interviews with random celebrities, and occasionally it's just them on their own. But it's just the most brutally honest podcast you'll ever listen to.
That's what we need. We need celebrity guests.
We do need a few celebs. They've had some few Oscar winners on there and everything, but we'll see what we can do. But it's really good because they are brutally honest. Like, every aspect of their life is on the podcast. So they talk about their sexual relationship problems, arguments they've had. Like, they'll have arguments on air, but they love each other. But it's so honest. That's what I like about it.
Okay.
And like Bobby Lee is just mental, a bit crazy. It's just really good. Feels like, yeah, I've listened for quite a while, so I feel like I'm part of the family. Tiger Belly, and also This American Life, because
and Radio Lab.
Yeah, they genuinely never fail. I always find something in the episode that I enjoy, if not the whole episode.
Yeah,
I really do. And there's no end of content. There's hundreds of episodes to go through. They're like mini documentaries, aren't they? Essentially, little stories, little snippets around topics.
And they're quite consistent and stuff. I think I do prefer Radio Lab, but This American Life, they kind of re-released some of their older episodes, and I can't remember if I've listened to them or not.
Yeah, they do. So they got episodes going back 20 years. They'll re-release them, and like for around So they do. There's a few. If you've listened for a long time, you'll hear the same episodes sometimes. But genuinely, check that out. This American Life. Anything else? Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, Dan Carlin, Serial, first series of Serial.
I've listened to quite a lot recently, but there was
it's just a giant advert for other podcasts, isn't it? Tune off of this one and go to...
There was a podcast called The Dropout, which came out earlier in the year, about a lady who she was the youngest self-made billionaire on the planet, and it turned out the whole business was just a hoax. That was quite interesting.
Okay.
It's a really interesting documentary, The Dropout.
There's a very obvious one. There's S-Town.
S-Town's very good.
Yeah, very good.
Nothing else like
I
that.
could do like 1 or 2 impressions out of everything, and John B. McElmore is one of them.
So if you won't know what that means unless you've listened to S-Town, will you?
Nothing. But
for those that have, what's your impression?
Most people around here think I'm queer anyway, so I'll just say I'm sucking your dick.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. It takes you back. I thought I was interviewing John B. McElmore. Right, S-Town, listen to that and then come back to this episode.
I think it's on episode 1.
Spot on.
And give your feedback.
Podcast suggestions. I'm writing that down. We may or may not put those on social media.
Hopefully I've got the right person then. I haven't just got some random white ginger redneck.
Right, done. No, thank you for that question, Tony.
Wasn't the funniest segment, but...
No, it's just a bit of...
Ryan and Barry, would you answer this, please? I've got a dilemma for Knackers in the breeze. It plays on my mind and it keeps me awake. Would you ease my nerves, oh please for goodness sake? Would you like to have a finger for a tongue? What's the largest thing you put up your bum? With kisses, would you smother the father? Would you rather with a noose? Would you rather be hung?
It's hanged.
It's been a long while. It's been too long since we've heard from the father of Would You Rather.
The father.
But finally, we have got another question from him.
Yay!
And it's a genuine. It's deep. He's trying to figure out the true personality of us, true depth of our core.
Hello, Barry and Ryan. I heard that the podcast had to be postponed on Wednesday, the recording of, as Barry had a migraine. I hope you're feeling better, Barry. Though a true podcaster, a true dedicated podcaster, would have persevered, I feel. Anyway, your situation has inspired my Would You Rather this week. Would you rather have a moderate migraine 4 hours of your woken day, every day, or a 6-foot-long inoperable testicular sac with testicles just resting at the bottom of the sack there?
Riding on a pony, eat a macaroni, Twilight Zone, it's Paul Simeone.
So yeah, ponder it over.
That is ridiculous. That is, oh my god. I mean,
so
6 foot long.
6 foot. That's
testicle bags.
So we're both under 6 foot.
Yeah.
So if we
aren't we?
So if we stood on a ladder, It's going to be longer than we are.
Still, you'd have to tie that around your waist or so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So 6
Put it
inoperable.
Through, yeah, put it
Did
through
you say
your
inoperable?
belt. Inoperable, yeah.
Yeah, through your belt. Maybe you have a series of belts going up your body, up your torso, that you could weave it in and out.
Intertwine them.
So you keep you warm in the winter, and keeps it off the ground.
Yeah, it's like a dressing gown belt. That, yeah.
Yeah, ball belt. Right, that or migraine for 4 hours every day.
Yeah.
That sounds like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Because you can't. Everyone has different experiences, but my vision goes, so that's shit. And then once I get my vision back, the headache kicks in, and you can't really focus on anything.
No.
Or read or.
But if you get it at the same time every day, would you kind of get used to it?
Well, I guess you could work around it, couldn't you? Like, you wouldn't have a job that
like 6 to 10. I can't do anything.
You just lie down in a dark room. The thing is, when I have it, it's the worst pain ever, and it's awful. But I get bored because I'm just lying in the darkness. So I like try and be like, oh, I'll just put the TV on, and it makes it worse. So you end up, it's just shit. You have to just lie there like a monk in a dark room. Me personally.
But if you can get some sort of like blow-up paddling pool, fill it with like cool water, and kind of just drift there.
Might be quite nice every day.
What's the thing Joe Rogan's always on about? The sensory deprivation.
Flotation tanks.
Flotation tank. Get in a flotation tank.
Yeah, full of
can't fucking afford it, mate.
Yeah, like how much reckon they are?
Got to be thousands.
Bear with me.
He's always on about like some specialized sauna. Is it like a infrared sauna and then getting into a flotation tank?
Yeah,
Mate,
and then a cryo chamber which goes down to minus 200 degrees or some bullshit. Like, these things aren't within the grasp of the average person.
I can like lie down in a puddle and boil the kettle and put the steam in my face. That's as close as I'm coming to going in a sauna and a flotation tank.
Well, I'm looking here now at flotation tank, just shopping, just on Google. How much are they? There's one here. It's only £3,360.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's a rain harvesting system. Okay.
I was going to say that sounds more like the price of a rain harvesting system.
1,000 litre diesel dispensing tank. Okay, you just can't buy them. You just can't buy them. But I reckon they are in the high double. I mean, they're probably about over 15 grand. I would have thought over 10 grand maybe.
Yeah, probably.
So, not going to be getting one of those anytime soon.
Unless you can somehow make money off your migraine.
How though?
Write a book.
You can't write a book.
The man who has migraine every day for 4 hours and then gets on with his life afterwards.
That has no real detrimental effects other than he just suffers and can't drive 4 hours a day.
For 4/24 of a day. So that's 2/12. So that's 1/6 of the day.
For 1/6 of the day, he lies in a paddling pool with his eyes closed. My story.
The remainder of that, he opens his eyes and lies there.
Yeah. And thinks about.
Whilst penning a book.
Right, it's meta. Well, penning this book that you're reading.
And he wraps his testicles around him.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the testicles.
See, that would come in handy if you were ever in like a very deep flotation tank and you were beginning to drown.
Yeah.
They could act like a flotation device and bring you back up. So you'd never drown with...
Well, not even that. Like, if you were drowning, you'd be 6 foot under, but the balls would be resting on top of the water, so that sort of helicopters flying over your flotation tank would go, oh, there he is, you can see the balls. I mean, change flotation tank for ocean, and you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so...
Paint them orange, like international orange.
Fluorescent, Mayday orange. And just in case you do drown, they'll rest on top of the water and be a beacon, a visual beacon for... There he is!
You need some, like...
balls. Balls. What do you need? Some armbands.
Some of those neon lights, like in Las Vegas, with the arrow going... Ding, ding, ding. But you need them waterproof.
And where are they?
They somehow attach to the sack of the testicles.
Okay. So you've already got a 6 foot sack, and now you've got 2 flashing neon.
I just want to be safe, Barry. I don't want to drown.
Just don't go in the water if you've got 6 foot balls, because it's almost like fishing for sharks. You know, that's like.
It could be its own like little fishing line.
Yeah, and that doesn't sound. You don't want your balls bitten off.
No.
Although maybe that's the only way to get rid of them.
That's the only way to operate on them.
Yeah, maybe
they're not truly inoperable.
So tie a bit of ham around the end of it, dangle it over the pier, and hope that something bites it off.
You get a bit of Meg on your smeg.
Some of the things that happen on this, I never thought I'd ever be said. Meg on your smeg.
Smegalodon.
Let's listen up, Knackers in the breeze. Listen up, Knackers in the breeze.
Okay, so we've just returned inside because our neighbour next door has selfishly decided to do some sawing, some sanding, some noisy work, disrupting the podcast. He doesn't know what genius, what art is going on inside these walls right now.
That's like, when the Sistine Chapel's being painted, it's like going, turn the lights off, I'm walking out of the room. It's a terrible analogy.
Giving him a pencil instead of paint.
But yeah, it's like the janitor at a recording studio was present as the Beatles recording their first album, and he went and walked out. He didn't know what he was missing.
But he's on the credits and he still gets paychecks now, just like the bus driver.
Talk about that quite a lot. I don't know why I told that story. You'll hear that on previous episodes where I probably referenced it numerous times, that story.
So we've had a bit of technical difficulties. We've had to come in and we did answer a question. A question from Mitch from Gears and Beers. He asked us,
G'day lads, quick question for you this week. If you could describe the other as either a fruit or vegetable, what fruit or vegetable would they be?
And we did answer that, but
we went into a lot of detail, as you could expect.
It didn't quite work, but
it just turned into fruit puns.
Yeah, turned into fruit puns. I described it as a kumquat.
And I described you as banana.
Yeah, and in the end I said that Barry is like an onion because he's very layered.
Very layered.
But he makes me cry.
Yeah. And then I described our abusive relationship.
And then I started crying, and
we should do the whole
each other on air.
We should do the whole podcast like this.
Probably the best question we've ever asked.
We could do the whole podcast like this. Like, this is what happened. It was brilliant, but we can't let you hear it because we have to.
This is just a tribute. Can't believe me, and I wish you were there.
It's not a matter of opinion.
Oh, fuck! Good God!
Something like that. Don't like the mind, get something up.
Motherfucker, don't do. Right, anyway.
So, in short, this is not the greatest podcast in the world. It's just a tribute.
So,
do you know what? Actually, my next question segues nicely into that song we've just sung. Believe it or not, this question involves instruments. So ready? Go. Here's the question.
Would you rather be fluent in all languages or able to play all musical instruments beautifully?
Okay.
So
no name, no location there.
Oh, that was from a lady called Ashley.
Okay.
From an undisclosed location.
Okay.
I haven't kidnapped her and held her in a basement.
Give us a question. No!
I'm not telling you where she's from.
That's a very good question, actually.
Both things would be absolute gifts. They would enhance your life 10 million fold. What would you do?
Well, the language one only really works if you can afford to go travelling quite a bit.
But
or
hear me out, mate. If you could speak any
center.
language, you could. We talk. A lot of our questions end up where we try and monetize whatever we've got, and that's the capitalist, mindset that we've been given, man, by the state.
Maybe we should make a rule where we can't
monetize. Because I was going to say, if you could speak every language, you could monetize that somehow. And then travel around based on that alone.
Yeah.
But stop trying to, commercialize everything. All right. But yeah, I know what you mean.
You can make money out of that speech. You know that.
Oh yeah, we could do it really fucking good.
Like the Black Mirror, we hold some glass to your throat.
We are sponsored by Bing as well. When we make any money off that, our Bing sponsorship. Yeah. We haven't mentioned it. We need to mention the unofficial, unconfirmed, unreciprocated Bing sponsorship that I'm trying to get from Bing, from Microsoft, Bill Gates himself. Don't know it? Bing it.
So back to the question.
That's the advert.
Yeah. Well, you could.
Don't know a thing. Bing!
You could do many a jingle if you know how to play every instrument.
Yeah, that's a good way to get back to the question. Yeah, I think, me personally, I really like music. I mean, that everybody does. Most people love music. But at the moment, I can really only speak one language, and it hasn't held me back too much. Like, the fact that I don't know Swahili hasn't affected me at all.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata, I mean, it's never going to affect you.
Yeah, that's a fantastic
No
phrase.
worries, mate.
So we know that. Is that Swahili?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think you'd know any phrases. So you know Valerian, Chinese, and Swahili, and German, and French.
Fluent in all of them.
So not knowing how to speak any, Chinese, for example, maybe at times it would have really helped.
Do you know? In Jingsai shooting woman double ke, Qingwen women yiga wenti.
I cannot believe you remembered that.
Yeah, motherfucker.
How have you remembered that? Is it on your laptop screen over there?
No.
It's true, he's not. That's really impressive. Well, I don't need to know that, what you just said. Again, it's a lovely party trick, but it doesn't mean shit.
That's all I know.
But if you can play every instrument, wow, the amount of money you can make off that.
To be fair, if you know how to play one instrument, especially like piano or something,
sure,
it's not too difficult to learn how to play another instrument because it's all like the same sort of structure behind it, whereas languages have completely different structure. Like language groups, like French and Spanish have a similar one, and then it's completely different to like German.
Yeah,
and then if you go to like Arabic, they have completely different like writing system.
It means it's like software that's been built from the ground up completely
But with each instrument, you play like a C chord on a piano, play a C chord on a guitar, and on a violin or something. It's still going to be the same sort of structure.
But in terms of like life enriching and happiness,
yeah, that'll definitely bring you more happiness. I think
I'd go for the music. Yeah, to be able to play every instrument masterfully would be the most beautiful gift, because music is a language and it's universal. So by knowing how to play every instrument, I'll technically be able to speak in every language, because the only true language is love.
I have come from the year 3025. For 1,000 years, humanity has been at constant war over the answer to the most important question to all of mankind. I have traveled back in time over 1,000 years before Ryan and Barry became world leaders in order to ask them this very question so that our civilization can be saved. So Ryan and Barry, please answer this ultimate question. What is the best flavor of crisps? This knowledge will put an end to our terrible conflict.
Got a question here. This is from Dave. He's previously appeared on the podcast. Bushcraft Dave. Big, bad, dangerous Dave. Just a little topic. Can soap get dirty?
Can soap get dirty?
Food for thought.
See what it means there. Sort of like if you drop soap, it is like a cleaning agent, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, if you try and clean yourself with soap after that, you got all the scum and shit all over it. So you're just wiping hair and dust and maybe some human shit all onto your face. So then,
but that doesn't answer the question. Can
soap
be dirty? Yeah,
but it can be dirty.
If you're wiping shit on your face, you will be dirty.
Yeah, but then that's part of the soap, isn't it?
Is it part of the soap?
Okay, so it's like the kind of thing of like if you spill carpet cleaner, is your carpet then dirty?
I've never heard that.
Or no, is that stain dirty, or is the whole carpet now dirty but that stain is clean?
Wow. Wow. Another interesting thought that came in a conversation between me and Dave was the thought that, well, he actually introduced this to me, is dirt just matter in the wrong place? And yes, it is, I think. So, for example, gravel on a driveway, fine. Put gravel on the kitchen floor, dirty. So, is dirt just matter in the wrong place? We are tackling the biggest questions out there. Getting to the heart of the matter.
I suppose it's like the sort of like one man's rubbish is another man's gold, isn't it?
Is it?
No. I suppose like anything like kind of
absolute conscious.
I suppose like anything dirty means that unhygienic, which kind of suggests that it would do us negative health impact.
Sure.
So maybe redefining dirty as that rather than just like it's like unaesthetically pleasing.
What you've done there is you've actually elevated that question to something quite meaningful.
There we go.
And I thank you for that, because
I'm the brain of this podcast.
You are.
You are just the good looks, baby.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, because my IQ is so low. All I need is a little cheap compliment to keep me going. I'm fine with that. Right, thank you for setting that question.
Did you think dirt is matter in the wrong place? Or,
yeah.
Or does it not matter?
It really does not matter.
Nothing on this podcast does matter.
That thought itself, being introduced on this podcast, is a thought in the wrong place. It's just leave it in your brain. It doesn't deserve to be talked about. But you salvaged a bit of
dignity.
Juice, and you elevated it, I think. So thank you for giving meaning to that question topic.
You have listened to another exceptional podcast episode of Knackers in the Breeze. If you want to ask Ryan and Barry a question, send a voice message via private message on Facebook. Just search for Knackers in the Breeze. Join them again soon in their quest for philosophical enlightenment.
Please send your questions in, as we need content for episode 19 and onwards. So don't feel afraid to send them in, because we do need them.
Yeah, it grows. It grows.
And as you've heard in previous episodes, even on this episode, there's no silly question. We'll answer them, and
like a teacher would say, there is no wrong question, is there?
Yeah. If you've got just a
There's
quick
no bad
thought to your head,
question, sorry.
just send one in, and it doesn't matter if it's good or
My
not.
favourite segment of the show is fast becoming the feedback section.
Yeah.
Because I like just the honest truth. Because we've had some pretty brutal.
Barry's bollocks and Ryan's a racist.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Oh god, yeah, you got outed as a racist on the episode. Brilliant. More of that, please. And we have been, I think.
More racism.
We have had a lot of, and all racism's fine if you don't mean it. Right? If you don't mean it, how could it be bad?
If you want to learn more about racism, then ask two white guys.
How to get away with racism. Just don't mean it. The feedback section of this podcast is fast becoming my favourite part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like it when they're honest and say how shit things are, but I don't want it to all be negative.
Yeah.
So
send your critical reviews in, and just send your good reviews in as well.
Make it a shit sandwich.
Intersplice them.
Yeah. So, bit of shit, make it a bit of positivity and a bit of shit, or a bit of positivity, a bit of shit, a bit of positivity. Yeah? Shit sandwich. Sandwich that shit if you're going to send it in. But I love it. And tell us
some in the shitter, some in the glitter. How's
that? Oh, that's a good name for the podcast. For this episode. Another t-shirt.
Right, so send your questions in, send your feedback in, please. We would like to answer them.
Yeah, I'd just like to hear them. It's just nice to hear from the listeners what they really think. It really is, and it will make us better in the end.
He's joining in.